Hello, Bots and Books fans. This is Scorp1701, and tonight we're going to be taking a look at another Marvel Legends figure. We will be continuing our X-Men series from 1991, the Jim Lee era, with Forge. Forge is a mutant, and he has the ability to basically understand how everything works mechanically, and if he can think of it, he can build it. So he's the usual general Mr. Fix-It kind of mutant. Now we are going to be taking a look at him because he is going to be our transitional character into the X-Factor team. Now normally in the 90s he was an X-Man, and you could see him in X-Men Blue books and X-Men Gold books, and he had that thing with Storm, but they eventually moved him over to X-Factor, where he became kind of the pseudo leader of the team. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We're not here to talk about comics. We're here to talk about the toys. And taking a look at the figure itself, you can see he's in the standard Marvel Legends box. He was part of the Caliban Build-A-Figure wave. You can see Marvel Legends series, X-Men, Marvel's Forge, Hasbro. On the top of the box, you have a little X there. Some more warnings over here. Nice picture of Forge there. Same picture there. And on the back of the box, you can see the same picture again for triplicate, and you can see a little read up of Forge. And if we move closer, we can kind of take a quick read of that. So read it, pause it, then we must be moving on. And as we continue down the box, we can see Caliban here and the other figures in the Caliban Build-A-Figure wave, which was Gambit, we've already reviewed. Beast, we've already reviewed. Weapon X, we're not going to review. Forge, we're in the process of reviewing. Blink, not going to review. Jubilee, which we've already reviewed, and Skull Buster, I don't know who he is. A lot of credits for the box down here, and then some more labels, and on the bottom of the box you can see a barcode, and that I bought him for $23 at GameStop. Yay! So anyway, that is it for him in the box. No one wants to see this guy in the box. I know I don't. So let's get him out and see what he can do. And here we have Forge out of the box. And out of the box, he stands at approximately 6.3 inches tall, and he comes with a few accessories. Well, he comes with an arm, because everybody needs an arm, right? An arm? No, this is actually Caliban's left arm, but really has nothing to do with us or what we're talking about. But hey, it comes in the box, so I'll show it off. Alright, moving on with that. He also comes with two rifles. He comes with, two weapons, sorry. He comes with this long rifle, which is basically an interesting sculpt, has some good detail in it, but painted in kind of like a gunmetal gray color. Not much of that, we'll look at it later. And secondly, he comes with this pistol type gun. And again, there's not much to the design. It's got a few details in there, and I can't even get it to focus. There it is. And it's again just a solid piece with painted in that gunmetal gray kind of thing. And again, we'll take a look at him holding that in just a minute. But now let's take a look at Forge himself. And pulling real close in on Forge's head sculpt, you can see it's a very nicely done. A lot of striking features that they put on this guy. He has initially his jet black hair, and it comes down into a ponytail in the back with a little brown holder there. Nice red headband. It comes off over on this side, a couple strips, and he has some nice dark eyebrows. Eyes are kind of brown. I don't know if you can see that. Or we'll try to zoom in. It's not gonna let me zoom in. Oh, there we go. That's about as close. I don't know if you can see that there is actually a color there. It's very small, but it's kind of like an orangish brown. But anyway, has a nice sculpted nose, and he has a nice mustachio there. Very striking. And if he kind of looks Native American, then that's because he is, and they wanted to capture that heritage in his character. He is part of the Cheyenne tribe, actually. So what he's basically wearing is your old traditional X-Men outfit, which was mostly yellow. and had some blue on the highlights in the arms, so you can see that. But before we get there, we see this. He has this harness. It's very nicely detailed. It's got some pouches in there, and it goes all the way around to an X on his back, which is pretty neat. And there's a little hole here. I don't know if we were supposed to have something that went in there, because none of his weapons have any type of port that can stick in there, but I don't know. It would have been nice to have that hole for some reason. All right, so he's got yellow, again, coming all the way from the bottom of his neck all the way to his midsection here. And then you got the blue, which kind of reminds me of the a standard Spider-Man type costume, but except with gold instead of red. Coming down to his hands, he has a nice cuffed glove, and this is actually a single piece, and it moves up and down. So if you don't like the cuff there, you can take this off, and then you'll just have a yellow hand with some blue stuff. But I like the cuff. It gives him a little bit of character. Has a red belt. This is a single piece. It can move all around his waist, and it's just basically red with a black X, so nothing too interesting there. Now his legs. On this side, obviously you got the standard blue. On this side, it shows off his bionic cybernetic leg, and it's nice lighter blue, and you can see there's some details in there to make it look mechanical. You can see he has a nice holster attached to his leg or his thigh. That's pretty neat. And coming down to some nice shaggy boots, and these boots again are reminiscent of Native American footwear, and you can see they kind of got some, oh gosh, I don't know what you'd call this type of style. It's not a single piece. The bushy part, the shaggy part, I'm not sure again what you would call it, does move up and down. So I don't know if I'm going to like that. I kind of appreciate if it was like glued down, sort of like on the Cyclops thing. We had issues because his straps would keep moving around, and that just falls down to the rest of the brown boot. And for articulation, basically his head can go 360 degrees all the way around. Just mind the ponytail, because it would get caught on his harness here. It can look up quite a lot, and it can look down quite a lot because the head is on a hinge, which is nice. He has this harness again. I guess if you I don't think it can come off unless you like cut it, or because it's kind of attached to the arm, and you'd have to take the arm off, and I don't know if you can do that. But anyway, so it moves around a little bit, the harness does, and the shoulders, they do go all the way around 360 degrees, and they are on a hinge, so they can come out to the side, so that's pretty neat. Looking at this, I'm thinking it might be a reuse of the Archangel mold, and that would explain that hole in the back for his wings and stuff. I don't know. But back to his arm, he does have a bicep swivel, goes all the way around. He has a double elbow bend, which is good there. The cuff on his cavalry boot, again, like I said, our cavalry glove does move around, so you could do that. I don't know if it's necessarily an added part of articulation, it's just part of that. The hand can go all the way around, and it is on a hinge, so it can go up and down. So that's pretty nice. He does have a ab crunch, which here, again, like the Archangel mold did, so it can go up, forward, and it can go backward a little bit. And he does have a waist swivel, but watch your belt, so you want to either have the belt below it or above it so it won't kind of get caught, but it can go all the way around like that. Legs can go up really large, high range of motion there, so that's really high kicking. Back not so much, because obviously the back of the figure gets in the way. It does have a thigh swivel here, which is nice, and he has a double knee bend, give him a good range of motion there. And the top part of his moccasin boot, I remembered it was a moccasin boot, it does move again. It's a single piece, so it can move down, but you kind of want to leave it right where it is. It's kind of above the actual boot cut, so it will kind of have a lot more to hold on to up there. And the boot, as you can see, can rock around 360 degrees. His foot is on a hinge, so it can go up a lot, and it can go down or forward a lot, and it can rotate, so you get some nice rocking motion, or pivot, whatever you want to call it. So that is it for his articulations. Very articulate. And for accessories, we'll start off with his long rifle. You can see it fits really nicely into his right hand. You can even put the finger there in the trigger well. And it is, again, nicely sculpted. A little bit of gunmetal gray paint on it, but that's pretty much it for that. And he can hold it really well. And if we do this little number, we can actually kind of mimic his pose right back there in the comic. So yeah, have it as a look aside. Oop, we gotta get this up. So yeah, I'm down a little bit. And all right, so that's close enough, I guess. All right, moving on. And he has his pistol, which he can hold very nicely in his right hand too, with the finger also in the trigger well. Now both guns can actually fit into the left hand, but you don't have the added articulation and cool effect of the thumb and the index finger. So anyway, taking this pistol out, he does have a sheath, or a holster for it, right here on his right side, and it just fits right in there snugly. So you can keep that right there. There is, again, nothing you could do with the rifle, so I guess you can hold that, or maybe you can try to squeeze it into the back of this harness thing. I don't know. It would have been great if they had like a little peg on here so that you could stick it right there in that hole, so to speak, to where it could, you know, sit on the back side of his back like that or something. I don't know. But oh well, missed opportunities. And those are his accessories. And full comparison, here he is with a few other X-Men. His Ex-Moray Storm, the figure I think shares his mold with Archangel, Wolverine, and I will never forget when they did the cartoon of Days of Future Past, and they sent Bishop back instead of Wolverine. It was kind of a neat introduction to Forge in that cartoon. So yeah, these are some great figures, and I hope you enjoyed these comparisons. Moving on. And this has been the Marvel Legends Forge figure from the Caliban Build-A-Figure wave. And I think he's a pretty good figure for what, you know, he can do. The problem with characters like Forge is his mutant ability is part of his mind. That's what he does. He can see things in his head and know how they work. And that's kind of hard to articulate to accessories. So it's not as easy as putting in a set of adamantium claws or optic blast or something like that. But yeah, they did good with him, and they were able to bring out his Native American heritage. As I said before, he was part of his character is based out of the Cheyenne tribe, and you can see he has some darker skin, his red headband, his moccasin type boots. So they did really well showing that in his features. He does have a bionic leg, so that was kind of something they could show, but for the most part, you know, he is what he is, and he's a good figure. So that's pretty much it for the review. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and until the next time, keep playing.